Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Tony Talks, where I have conversations with inspirational leaders, influencers, and change makers, people that are not just doing well in life, but that are doing good in the world. Today, as we've done for the last several Saturdays, I have my good buddy Brian Bradley from Egoscue in the waiting room right now, waiting for me to bring him on. And I just wanted to say that just invite everyone to share this video, because what we're going to talk about today is, again, going to be powerful. The exercises are going to be powerful. It's going to be helping you relieve pain, back pain, shoulder pain, hip pain, knee pain, even sciatic pain. And if you know anyone that is suffering, that is going through pain right now, just share this video with them. Share this video, tag them on it, and I promise you, you won't be disappointed. With that, I'm going to bring my good buddy Brian from Egoscue. He is, like I said, he is the myth, the man, the myth, the legend. Look, and he's back to being a light brown, dirty blonde hair with a little bit of salt thrown in there. What's up, brother? Good to see you.
How you doing, buddy? You good?
I'm doing great, man. Better now, because I know that every time I have a little workout with you, I feel better. So I was just inviting everyone to share this video and bring in some friends.
Well, I'd like to bring on a friend to the show too.
Oh, fantastic, guys! We have a surprise.
Would you mind sending him an invite?
I could. I don't have his direct number, so you can actually just send him the one that it's the same exact one. So listen, while Brian invites our special guest, which, by the way, you don't want to miss this special guest. Share this video. It's going to be a great one. I just want to take this moment to, again, thank Brian for all he does, not just here on my show. He's been coming on graciously for the last 4 or 5 weeks, but he continues to do this in other people's shows as well, just giving of himself, especially during this time when everybody really needs it. Everybody's sitting down at home at a computer, not being as active as they could and should be, and he's just coming to us. So I just want to, give a big shout out to Brian and to everybody in his organization that continues to do this. And he's actually bringing on a special guest who has made an appearance before, and he's going to make an appearance again. Mr. Pete Egoscue himself is going to, we're just waiting for him to come into the green room. So he's going to be on there himself. So again, this is a special treat. Very rarely do you see Pete Egoscue come on screen on anybody's show. So it's another treat for him to come in today. And again, Brian, just tell us, how many countries is the Egoscue method in right now?
Well, we have what we call posture alignment specialists, people that have been trained by the Egoscue Institute all over the world, UK, Singapore, wherever, Australia. But actual Egoscue clinics, 2 in Japan, 2 in Mexico, 1 in Monterrey, 1 in Mexico City, Polanco, and then like 30 plus in the US. But I need them all over the place. We were opening up Toronto in June, but COVID-19 kind of put that on hold. Great therapist up there. But look, we're going to have Pete Egoscue on here pretty soon. It's almost like a bear coming out of hibernation.
Yeah, this is awesome. Listen, like I said, it was a pleasure to have him on the last time, and the fact that he's coming on again, I'm excited. I'm excited to have him on. So we have a bunch of friends on here already. Liba says hello. What's up, Liba? Scott, the great Scott Martin, is on as well. Danielle Hicks, how are you? Liba, how are you? And Dana is on again as well. Getting correct emails from me. Nice. So this is a treat. Anyone who is interested, please share this video with all of your friends and with anyone that you think may need to really realign themselves and get really connected with themselves again and with their body. And with that said, I think we have Mr. Pete Egoscue on there. I don't know if his camera's on yet, but let's see. Yeah, we don't have his camera on yet. Well, I don't know if we've got audio on him. He might still be setting up. We'll leave him. We'll wait until he comes on screen, or at least mic's up. So again, this is definitely something that I would absolutely share. Spread this. Share the Facebook link. Share the YouTube link. Share wherever you can. We have Alcion from Bolivia. We've got Bolivia in the house. I think we're gonna have Mexico on here today as well. I invited some people from Canada, some people from Australia. So we'll see. We should go international today again, which we always do to one extent or another. But
well,
people,
I'm in California, that's considered international anyway, right? Like we would like to consider ourselves that. That's what happens. Like
Yeah. Right. Well, it's almost like an.
while we're getting Pete in here, you mentioned sciatic nerve. This is the back view of the pelvis. And you have these little muscles around that little yellow nerve called your hip rotator cuff. And then you have this big muscle over here, the psoas, coming down here on the other side. But it's on both sides. But on this side, this is the rear view right here. And it's showing you that nerve coming through. A lot of people would complain and go, wow, my sciatic nerve is a problem. But just look at the intricacy of muscles that were cut away and muscles that it bypasses, muscles that sometimes it shoots through. So is it the nerve that's the problem, or could it be the tension in those muscles and muscles attached to bones? This is a bone problem because of a lack of muscle activation. I know I sound like a broken freaking record, but guys, I told Tony, it's, the more we do these things, I hope the audience could almost teach this course for us, right? We want this to be so much positivity as it relates to chronic pain that, COVID-19 has given me the opportunity to spread the word that pain is a gift. You just have to be okay to hear it. And what I want you to hear from Pete today is maybe some of the history. Where did he come from in the sense of how did the method start? He may not want to tell you the whole Vietnam story, stuff like that. I get that, because he'll go, you don't really want to hear that kind of stuff. But if you push him, he'll tell you.
Nice. Yeah, well, listen, I think we have somebody to push. Hold on, let's see. I think we just got somebody up on camera. There he is. How are you?
Hey, Tony, how you doing, man?
Great to see you again.
Yeah, it's fun. So what are you guys up to today?
Well, what we're really doing is we're going to see if any mountain lions come off your hill or any of those big-ass moose that you have. Dude, that's his backyard. He should see the animals that come off the hill down to the house.
Wow. Yeah, we've got moose and lynx and bears, and my house is at 7,000 feet, so we're up in the mountains.
Wow, lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! So where exactly do you live? Well, not exactly.
I live in Park City, Utah. My house is at 7,000 feet, and that image I showed you backs up the National Forest. So it's just me at the end of this long road, and it's quiet and high and beautiful.
Wow, beautiful. I've not been out there yet, but there's so many people that I know that live out there. I've got to come over. I got to come out to visit for sure.
Well, when you come, holler up, and you're more than welcome.
I appreciate it. I'll take you up on that for sure. So how's everybody? How have you been? I mean, I've been speaking to Brian on a regular basis. How are you holding up? How's things over in Utah? Things are.
Well, I live in a place called Summit County, and as most of the country, it's completely shut down, which is a tragedy. But we're hopeful that they open it back up because, Park City right now is a ghost town. It lives off of tourism, and the city, it's a one street town. It's a really quaint, charming place, and everything's closed. So these small, how would you like to be, Tony? How would you like to be an owner of restaurants right now?
I'm so glad that I'm not. And I've owned a bar restaurant at one point, and that's not a business that to be in right now. There's a lot of businesses struggling, especially in resort towns and places that rely on tourism. I can't even imagine the financial devastation that people are going to suffer. Well, hopefully we're closer to coming out of this than we are to the beginning. I believe we are. So
we're as far as Egoscue Inc. is concerned, we've been treating people remotely for almost 40 years, and so we didn't have to invent a product. We have a remote product that we're very proud of, and so we're perfectly primed to help the good people around the world when they're all shut in and can't move around and can't get to our clinics. And that's what we're doing, and it's all about helping people. And we have the technologies to do it. We're very good at it, So I believe that in every case of great chaos, there's tremendous opportunity. And
Yeah,
our focus is always, how do we help the person in front of us? We're here to serve, and we have the technologies to do it. We have the wonderful people that around the world that are Egoscue people that do that. I'm very proud of them. And so we will come out of this, Egoscue Inc., we will come out of this a stronger, better company than we went into it. That you can't say that for everybody in the culture, but we need to get our country back to work.
Yeah, I agree with that, and hopefully that'll start happening very soon. So again, I want to just thank you for coming on. And by the way, just want you to know, Dana Lisa Gangish here that we spoke to her last time, and she said that she did her frogs this morning and is sitting with better posture. She also wants you to know that she's got a fridge and freezer full of blueberries and non-dairy yogurt.
That's awesome. Yeah, she sent me an email, and I must admit I've been doing some traveling, so I was remiss in responding. But thanks for reminding me. I will respond to her.
Awesome. So listen, we'll get right to it. We actually have a friend here that says that. Hold on, did I see? No, I misread it. I thought, Liba, I thought you said that you were in pain. She's driven in a weird way by pain. Anyway, if anybody has any questions, by the way, for Brian, or certainly for Pete Egoscue, which is the creator of the Egoscue method. Yes, the gentleman in the middle.
I have a question. Pete, listen, 30 years, I've heard the story. I get the question, how'd the method start? I know you don't like to do this, but guys, when you hear this story and you feel it the way that he tells it, now you know why I'm so gung-ho on how the human body, the story about, and you don't have to go into that one, but I'll tell you it later, the story that I'm paraphrasing, that he's walking through, guy puts his hands up and he watches a woman, pregnant woman, put the rice thing down, unwrap her body, give birth, kneeling, pick up the baby, wrap it back up, pick up the rice, and walks back to her village. He said, that was the point in my life when I knew the human body could handle anything. And I paraphrased the whole thing, but it was one of the stories that I'm going, oh, let's go.
So, I'm not going to tell this story. Well, I don't know why you're asking me that. Come on, man.
Give us the idea. How did the method start? You don't have to go into the situation, but where did it come from? Because I know I'm asking a question that a lot of people want to know.
It came from a seminal event in my life, and thanks for asking. The seminal event was when you come to a place where you're at a fork in the road as it relates to, in this case, your physical well-being, and all the wonderful people who are trying to help you with your significant amounts of pain and limitation are telling you one thing, and your instincts are telling you something else. And at that place, I had two choices. One was to submit to what the wonderful people that were trying to help me were telling me, and my instincts, my gut reaction was that I didn't believe them. Or do I listen to my own instincts, knowing nothing about the human body, and launch out on my own on a path that I didn't know where it was going to take me. And it was it was an emotional place. And I chose to follow my own instincts, and that was the origin of the method. So what we've done for almost 40 years now, Brian, as you know, and you're really good at this, and our mission is to get people to understand that pain is not something to be feared, that it's the body's voice and it's something to be understood. And you need to trust yourself, because you are an organism that has incredible recuperatory powers. You have an incredible ability to adapt and adjust to your environment, and there's nothing to fear. And that's our message to the hundreds of thousands of people that we've helped over the years. And it's, I think all these wonderful Egoscue folks are good at it, and we want the world to understand that.
Awesome.
Awesome is right. Well, again, thank you for creating that. Like I said, you impacted my life many years ago, and I continue to benefit from these exercises on a regular basis. Not to mention, I got this guy in the middle here that's been hanging out with me every Saturday for the last couple of weeks. So I'm real happy for that. And we're helping a lot of people, even here. So Leva does say that. Hold on, let me just put that up. She says that she's got chronic Achilles pain, and her wrist randomly starts hurting, and gets pins and needles, but gets used to training and running and biking with it. She goes on to say, and I don't know, and Leva, if you can tell me if Stanley's is Stanley Dietrich, is he trained by you guys, or maybe he just knows about some of the things that he learned from you guys, or maybe he's been a patient. He says he's been showing her the method for her torn rotator cuff that she has surgery on. It's so cool how the muscles are all connected and work. Thank you for that. So you're getting a thank you directly, but whether she worked with you guys indirectly or not, or whether Stanley's one of your guys or trained by you guys or not. But there's so many of these stories. Yeah, Dana just goes on to say, Vietnam vet for superheroes. She was 19 years old, scared to death, newly injured vet. Vietnam vet raised me and taught me how to survive in the world. Thank you for your continued service. Yes, absolutely. Thank you for your past and continued service, both for you and for everyone who's served in the past and continues to serve. And Scott Martin, of course, this is an epic origin story. Absolutely. So thank you for that.
You guys are the bomb. I'm going to let you rock on here. But Tony, anytime you want me to come on and answer questions or whatever, you and Brian, I'll be happy to do it. I'm going to show you that I'm human, right? So the workout's over, hard workout today in the mountains. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Nice. There you go.
I'm going to leave you guys to it. Thanks a lot, and I'll catch you later.
Thank you so much for jumping in and for saying hello.
Hey,
awesome.
You were talking about somebody, like, whether it was Pete has to, we had to close him.
How the hell do I hang up?
I'll take care of that. All right, take care, Pete.
Oh boy, right there.
Hang me up, gentlemen.
Hang me up.
Yeah.
Okay. Say hi, girls. What's up, guys? Okay, so these are my two neighbors that I should call the police on, but that's okay. You get those people like Stanley, or somebody who was showing somebody the exercises and things like that, right? This book, Pain Free, was Pete's second book. His first book was the Egoscue method of health through motion. So we just learned Pain Free is a lot easier to refer to your friends, right? The Egoscue method is the one, but I'll tell you, that's an amazing book. This book should be a must read. And the 2.0 is coming out soon that Pete's writing right now, Pain Free 2.0. It's a discussion about the first 3 chapters, but I read you the disclaimer before, right? Or did we not do that?
Yeah, I think you did that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I just love the idea. Put the book down if you need somebody else's permission to get well. Mic drop, right? Because we got to get people to a point where you can try to think yourself well. You can try to deny that you have pain. Like, pain is a good thing. Brian said it's a gift. I get it, but pain sucks.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely a way for you to connect with people around you that might be able to help pull you out of it. And if you're in an emotional hole, you're going to end up with a physiological manifestation of pain somehow. Right? So, a chronic thing for me, I've blown out my ACL on my left knee twice. I had a hernia operation left side, tore my labrum, broken fibula, 6-inch blood clot, all this stuff. separated shoulders. So my left side, when somebody says, don't do your exercises, we'll go do this, and then something negative hits or something. When something negative like that hits and my body deviates from this design and it starts looking like this, my mid to upper back starts going, and then the worst thing you can do is try to muscle your way through it. It's almost like you have to spend some time on your back and allow the floor to do what it's supposed to do. So in order to see that, let's go here. And the best thing, and I know you guys have talked about this before, but I have these little these little lumbar or cervical boosters. And you could literally have a person lying on their back in this position and have one of these boosters right here in your neck and right here in your lower back. Okay, so that's the position I want you to think about.
If you don't have a booster, you can use the equivalent of maybe a pool noodle or a wrapped up towel, right?
A wrapped up, a rolled up beach towel, like halfway through, or bath towel halfway through, so that it's not like this. It's more like thick. You don't want to feel like there's a telephone pole back there.
Right.
My foam bolsters they're crushable. With the black one, I've laid on it enough, that it's a little bit loose in the foam. But I will tell you, that's a game changer to lay down in that position for someone who gets, hey, my mid back is really tight, but when you reestablish the natural curve to the spine, then your mid back can finally let go and do its job.
Give me the website real quick where people can get that. I'll put it in. I should. You've already told me that.
crookedhuman.com.
I was going to say it was something like crookedhuman.com.
crookedhuman.com. And the cool part is that I'm trying to reestablish we're trying to reestablish this as the natural spinal curve. And when that part gets to be too rounded like a turtle shell, that's when you get yourself in trouble. And we have to change the body going to it to make the chiropractors and PT's job easier. So I wanted you to hear the start of this, and he didn't even go into his story. But guys, when I heard that story that was his aha moment. Not even injured yet. He had an aha moment in the jungles of Vietnam and said, the human body's amazing. Human body's amazing. Just get out of its way. Let it do its job. And when you get out of its way and let it do its job, it's a game changer. But when you're in its way, that human, crooked human, has an S at the end. So it's crooked human, H-A-M-A-N. You have an S instead of the A.
The darn glasses.
Look, I can't tell you enough that when we start talking about, muscles, and it's never about like one muscle, stuff like that. But this is a pretty important image from one of my favorite books. That picture right there, where the psoas muscle alone matching the blood flow north and south along with nerve supplies near the diaphragm, that alone should tell you how important teaching that muscle what it's supposed to do. And I know there's hundreds of muscles, but I'm talking about the main circuit breaker on switch that our exercises focus on. So how does that wake up this muscle group right here, which is it attaches here, and then it attaches basically right there to the lower back. That psoas muscle is very important in turning on the entire physical system, emotional system, and the anchor for you to have a valid thought process. So a lot of people who are in places where they just can't seem to get themselves out of a hole. I was having a discussion with one of my therapists yesterday, and they were I called it 1 in 6.5 people right now are unemployed. We'll come back. I get it. But just think of the emotion and the uncertainty that goes with that. And you guys that are coaches, and I know Scott Martin's on here, and him with his specialized form of marketing, because it's not traditional marketing. And if you haven't looked him up, or you didn't watch the Get Up and Grow with him on there, you guys need to go back and watch it.
Well, here, hold on. I'll give you a quick news flash on that. By the way, we've got you rocking Saturdays. Well, guess what? Scott has agreed to do Marketing Mondays. So he's going to be hanging with us. And we're going to do a series, Marketing Mondays, for the next 6 weeks. So he'll be hanging with us on Monday. So come back and watch us. You too, Brian. Come back and watch us. By the way, while I've got the mic again, please share this video. Invite somebody to come watch it, as we're about to get into really the exercises where, we had, if you're just coming on, we had Pete Egoscue come on to say hello for a few minutes. But we're about to get into some exercises. Yeah, Scott's on here as well. So yeah, Marketing Monday. That's it. Look, Scott, you got to put your glasses on too, buddy, because you just did what I did with Crooked Human. You put an eye on Ninde. It happens. It's okay. Not judging. Anyway, Marketing Monday with Scott Martin. So listen, Liba actually asks here, when you said about laying down with the roll on your lower back and the roll on your neck, she said, why is it better than lying flat on the floor? And again, it's a good opportunity, because I don't know that Liba's been on here when you've been on.
Great call.
Yeah.
Let's just show it. Okay, so let's show two different versions of getting on the floor. And I know hey Seb, I know that my garage gets a little dark, so let's see here. What can you see? Can you see anything?
Well, right now, your floor, good job. So you swept it up.
My floor is amazing. This flooring is unbelievable. I had to put in 15-year warranty. If I knew the company that did it, I would tell you, but this thing sucks up so much light. It's like black inside here. Let me show you. Let's change lighting structures for a little bit. Let's go over. I'll back up. Okay, so let's go to here and just say this. Now, when you're laying on the floor, you have two choices. The first one would be to just lie on your back and be in this position. For example, and those legs in public. Now, just laying in this position. Feel like there's an arch in your lower back. I do not want you flattening that curve. Unless, of course, we were doing pelvic tilts. Right? But you should feel when your legs are down on the floor like mine, that you actually feel like there's a little bit of an arch in your lower back. That's natural. If your legs were up over a block, say 90 degrees like this, then that would flatten out your spine, because you've changed how the leg is articulating in the hip joint. So in this position, I take this and I put this towel, we'll call it, under my lower back. And now you can see that it's tilting my pelvis forward. And then I take this one, I put it underneath my neck, and we lie down in this position. Now, what's the difference? Sometimes people have one pelvis that's sitting in a different plane than the other one. So let's say both pelvis are supposed to be here. One pelvis is tilted like this without the roll behind my back, and the other pelvis is tilted like that. That's called a hip disparity or a pelvic disparity. That's not a good thing, by the way, because then your spine has to compensate. They need to both be moving together. What this does, this tilts your pelvis bilaterally and allows your body to adjust to this position. All you do is lay here. Now, what you could do also is squeeze a pillow between your knees. You could do squeeze my shoulder blades together. I could do the frog and lay in this position. So there's a bazillion things we could do in that position, but it's much different than when you were lying at 90 degrees with both legs up over the block.
Yeah, much.
So if I said, what's the difference? It's the spinal curve and how your pelvis adjusts. What this does is it tries to force your pelvis to go to bilateral positioning. Does that make sense?
Yep. I'm improvising. I didn't have the towel ready or one of those rolls. So I've got a bottle of water underneath my lower back. Similar effect.
Hillbilly, but I like it.
Hey, listen, improvise.
You know that it's a bottle of moonshine. I know it's not water. So look at it this way. I have clients who tell me all the time if they have headaches, laying on their back sometimes can light it up. Don't start on your back. When you start looking at exercises in here, you go read the first 3 chapters to get the mindset. Then you pick out a chapter like knee pain, hip pain, shoulder pain, whatever. I was on Skypes this morning. Division I baseball coach, a lady from Australia, in the late morning to do some therapy early where she was. And I'm telling you, you guys have got to realize that it's when we're working with you guys on Skype or FaceTime or Zoom, and Zoom's been amazing. Thank God for that company. But it allows us to do the education in person like this. And so many people are going, well, I don't live near you. How do I see you? Things like that. It's an easy thing to do it as long as we can give you the right tools to get it done. Scott, and his family, I'm doing some work with them. The Zoom's been amazing. And each visit teaches me a little bit about his family and, what their body's going to need and stuff like that. The same thing with everybody else who goes through this. It's an education process that we're all involved in.
I have a great wife. She just brought me a rolled up towel. She didn't just bring me a towel. She brought it pre-rolled. Damn it. I love you.
Yeah, tell her there's no rubber bands around it. Get on it. Let's go. No, don't do that. But listen, what I would tell you is the difference between this and static back, where you have your legs up over, static back is something that I give to everybody. This is something I don't give to everybody right away, but your instincts will tell you, like I just laid down on that just now, and I was like, oh my God, this feels so good. Like to me, it's like I'm in heaven because it reestablishes a better neck curve, and my mid back, which is where my dysfunction shows up from my left hip trying to take over and F things up for me.
Yeah, my mid back is actually what's bugging me today because I was doing some work outside and pulling the B boxes off and what have you. So I was lifting some weight today. So my mid back is actually what's getting me today. Thank you, hon. Look, she brought me another towel, but I don't know if you heard Brian's comment. He's like, no rubber bands around the towel. Get on it, please.
She's busy saving people from COVID-19.
I'm not careful. She'll be wetting them and getting me with them later.
So lie down on them now, Tony. Let's go through this.
So what's that? I'm sorry?
Go ahead and lay down on those. Now in that position.
Wow, yeah, that does feel good.
Yeah, your neck and your head should be on the floor. And your pelvis should be rolled around the towel. So it should be in your lower back. Yep, and it should just feel like it starts to decrease some of the pressure in your upper back.
Yeah.
And remember, guys that are listening, this isn't about treating pain. That's not my job. That's medical. I consider myself lucky, non-medical. You have to be dumb to understand Egoscue. And Pete would tell you he's the dumbest guy around because zero medical training, but he had this eye to put the system together. All because of how he started this whole method.
I feel a lot of tension kind of releasing like right at the base of my spine too, kind of just opening up, or I'm not sure exactly how to describe that.
Well, you can describe it in the way you feel, but if we were all in medical school, I would just say what's really happening is you're reestablishing his natural S curves to his spine, so his body's no longer fighting him. So I know Deepak's asking a question, when would you do this on towels versus doing static back? Brother, without seeing people, that's a tough call. I would honestly, I'd have you trust your instincts. If you said to me, I have to give you a decision, I would say end the night in the static back. sometime during the day, get down on these rolls.
And by the way, the static back, just so we can show everybody, the static back is when you grab a chair or something and you put your feet at that 90-degree angle, right?
Yep.
And
tell that Tony's still young.
At that point, right?
Tony's still a young pup. That's why when he moved and sat straight up, he didn't blow wind. Because most of my older clients cut the cheese when they sit straight up like
that. This is a good one too. So this one I sometimes do at night as well before going to bed. This one's great too. This one just relaxes the whole back.
It's amazing. I can tell you this one I do in airports. If you have neck issues, sometimes people will go, this isn't letting go. Then you put the cervical roll behind there and you try the lumbar roll, but your feet are on the ground. Don't do the cervical lumbar roll in this position because it's kind of fighting the pelvis going both directions.
Can you do the neck roll with this one?
Yeah.
So how long, so this one I know you said about 15 minutes or 2 hours or whatever you want, but at least 15 minutes. How about the one with the roll on your lumbar? How long should you do that one for?
Great question. 10 minutes. And then follow it up with that air bench that my clinic owner, Alan in Mexico, taught you a couple weeks ago or last week.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an amazing exercise. There's let me just check something from my phone to see if I can find a visual.
And to be honest, I don't know if that mid-back pain was from my working outside today or for just being on the computer so much, because the last couple of days I've literally spent 8 to 10 hours of screen time at least.
Look, guys, there's a picture that came across from one of my clinics of a guy in 2019 and 2020. And I don't know if I showed you this already, but that's what like severe sciatica and stenosis looks like.
Wow.
And then that's the same guy a year later.
Wow.
The cool part is that that's why this is so fucking cool, dude. Like, I can't stress it enough. Like, I'm in one of those moods today. I can already tell that life's happening for me. Like, I'm getting up, did my own landscaping, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm a man's man. I used a mower this morning. Woo! It was an electric mower. But because it's too loud for my neighbors to use the other ones. So looking at it this way, it's when you get the opportunity to see what I see on a daily basis, I don't care. You could come up and take a dump on my front porch every day and it's not going to piss me off because I have too much stuff that's going on positive as it relates to the results that we're getting. Like what you get when you're talking to people and you get to move them away from where Dana was the first day you met her and where she's at now, where she's a force for good. Like, I don't wear these shirts just to wear it. By the way, this is from Tony's birthday party. Sick party, dude. You should have seen the money they raised for Operation Underground Railroad. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I didn't make it to that one. I couldn't possibly be at two places at once, unfortunately, so I wasn't able to make it. I wish I had, but I'll have to wait for his next for when he's 120, I guess.
I was two places at once. I was in Breckenridge snowboarding for the week. Supposed to come home on Monday. I hear that the party's Saturday. My ass hopped on a plane and flew to LA going, I'm not missing this because, you know, we're there to support our friends. So, you know, Tony, you either you make sacrifices or you give up like what you did and just, you know, give in.
Actually, hold on. I was actually supporting another friend's event that I had already committed to months before even knowing about it. So I was down in Florida. Then from Florida, I was speaking in Houston like the next 2 days later, and I have to be in Houston and basically in Houston and in California basically 6 hours later. And from Houston, there's no direct. If there was a direct flight to LA, I'd have made it, but there was.
Yes, we're gonna make this easy on you. We're gonna fly you to Chicago first, then through Newark, and then we'll bring you back to LA. You're like, oh my God. No, I'm just giving you a hard time because you know we're all supportive of what that guy and his family are doing, and you know what they're doing around the world. And you know, I was on the phone with Sage yesterday talking about some stuff and just seeing where people are. And again, what's my job? My job is to keep that juggernaut and his family going, because the world is not a good place without him. That's how I feel about Pete Egoscue. And you have a guy like Pete around you, it is an absolute game changer because the mindset is, what if? What if?
Yeah.
What if you didn't feel that way about that situation? What if you chose to feel this way? What if you did your exercises? Let's just see what happens.
That's it. I love it. By the way, you help people, right, get out of pain, right? That's what you do. Because Deepak is saying the party was amazing, but his wrist still hurts from the high five you gave him. Dude, what gives? What are you doing?
Well, remember when I showed you that 12 gauge video of me shooting? Yeah. Guns like that and guns like this are illegal in most states. I'm sorry, Deepak.
Too funny, too funny. Wendy asked, do you recommend to use a Swiss ball and any exercises?
No, not because I don't like it. It's just not in our stuff. We're more 90-degree angles, leg up over a chair, let the body release. The Swiss ball is more about work. Is there something wrong with the Swiss ball? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. My workouts, if you guys want to check this out, on YouTube, there's a link. Just search on YouTube. This guy's a strength coach out of Canada. Jason Glass, Glass, Patch, Patch. I shot this with him 4 years ago because he said, Brian, you've been on speaking engagements with me. He's in the golf world like I am talking. And he has a sick sense of humor, which is why the videos to the Jackass theme song. And he's like, I got to see what this patch is all about because he was maximal dose. Let's go, high intensity. And when I put him on this obstacle course, it's minimal dose, low intensity interval training. You take your time doing stuff so your body can adjust, almost like Tai Chi versus, a fast punch.
Right.
So,
get used to it. You're not dying coming off it. Well, that's the thing.
Okay. So this is his podcast, but I want to show you.
Look at this guy. And then you can get to here if you want. You can add in.
So this is one of our things we have at the Niners facility, all that stuff. But he's 12 years younger than I am.
Yes. Hell yeah. But think about this from the standpoint of what it's doing to your heart rate very quickly. Yep. We're not running. No. Pace is pace. Whatever you can do. This is not about let's make it puke. We talked about that the other day. Exactly. We're at 141. 140.
He sounded like he was giving birth. Let me show you when I almost killed him.
That's it. Hips high. Thrust. Q Reiki.
Okay.
That deceleration is tough. How many times you gotta do that? Here we go. Dismount. Oh, the dismount.
Watch this dismount.
As I get higher up.
I want a handstand versus this.
Oh.
Okay, now this is the one that broke him because his shoulder didn't move.
Right there. Hips high, Jay. That's it. Hips high. Thrust. Q Reiki. I think that knees.
Have you ever seen the coach in so much pain?
Come on, you're almost there. Come on. Come on.
Good job, Jay.
Oh my God, good job, buddy. The reason why that's so hard again is because you're right. I cannot do that. Yet.
And the key with this whole thing was not to embarrass the guy. It was to wake him up. You guys have got to start thinking. When I go to the gym, I add that stuff in the gym. When gyms open back up, I'm that guy that people are going, what are you training for? I mean, you really look like you're doing this. And I said, well, I'll be honest with you. I'd like to be able to get off the toilet tomorrow without using arm assistance. I'm like, yeah, I'd like to play table tennis at a tournament this weekend. Ping pong? And I said, don't ever insult table tennis again. But it's, they think that you have to be an NFL person doing this. It's not true. You got to move like a kid.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, speaking of kids, when you broke me practically was at Gills when we were doing those bear crawls up and down the stairs, up and down those steps in front of the gym. Holy mother. That was probably some of the toughest exercises I think I've ever done.
They're a game changer. Yeah. And that's the thing about, a second story house. You look at it and go, 14 stairs, you might as well use it. We're sequestered. I got stairs. Let's go. So we do exercises based on training the hip to do the work. Use what's around you. I have an adult pogo stick. Dude, you want to have some fun? Buy the adult pogo stick. It holds up to, say, 250 pounds. I'm out here jumping. It's stuff that we used to do as a kid. It's like a mini trampoline, but a pogo stick's a pogo stick.
Yeah. I see guys doing somersaults with them. I'm like, yeah, that would kill me.
Those are the big ones. Those are the ones that have the massive spring to do jumps. Right. This is the normal, just this, versus.
Gotcha. I thought you were doing somersaults and flips into your neighbor's yard.
No, I did, but I got sued. So.
Nice. Let's see. What's a comment here? Wendy says she had a total hip replacement. It's hard. Hold on, let me put that up on the screen. It's hard for her to get on and off the floor because of that. She became overprotective of her hip. Any modifications you can suggest? Yeah. She goes on to ask, any thoughts on using a rebounder with a hip replacement?
I would not use the rebounder as part of your hip replacement until you fix the reason why you had the hip replacement. So, and the hip replacement happened because you broke down the cartilage in the joint. I get it. But what noxious movement broke the hip down that caused the degeneration in the hip? Go after the cause, not just fix the symptom. Hey, here's your new hip, but you can't get on the floor. So that's what they don't tell you. That's what's unfair to her. It would be like, hey, go have your hip replaced, but you better do the Egoscue stuff when you're done with your normal PT rehab. Egoscue is going to free you up to get rid of the problem that caused it. Here's how she'll know. She walks across her room and takes one set of stairs, maybe even not a lot, because stairs kind of suck once in a while. Maybe 3 or 4 stairs. Just feel it when you walk up, turn around, feel it when you walk down. Then elbows back, walk across your house barefoot like that. Something's instantly different about your hip. You don't have a choice. Your degenerative hip is now working better. Now walk up those 3 or 4 stairs, then come back down, keeping your elbows back. She will learn very quickly that the hip replacement caused an upper back dysfunction.
Yeah.
Born with it.
Yeah, she was born with dislocated hip. It worked out as she was always very active her whole life and wore out the cartilage.
Totally. This is one of those situations where you go, no noxious movement involved. This was a hereditary congenital problem, but she still has a choice to stop the body from adapting and compensating, which is why I love her question. She's already going, I wish I could do that. Do it in your bed until you can get on the floor. But get out of the bed as fast as possible because it conforms to your body versus the floor pushes up against. And, like I said to you before, Tony, anybody who's interested just to go, look, I've never seen you guys before. I just want you to take a look. You contact me and I'll take a look over Zoom. By the end of that, you're going to go, look, how do we continue this coaching? What do you guys have program-wise? It always happens.
Yeah. And guys, by the way, I can't stress enough. Look up Egoscue, look up Brian Bradley, look up an Egoscue center near you. And again, it doesn't even have to be near you, but if you want to go to a physical location, look up for a place near you. If not, just go on to Egoscue.com and look these guys up. It is invaluable. I mean, what we talk about every Saturday, we come on and we share some exercises and share some tips, or when I say we, I mean Brian. and some of the people that he brings on, but they share these exercises, but that's just scratching the surface. That's just giving you a taste of what's possible. There are so many exercises that you can do, many of them that you don't even think that you're doing much, but you're doing so much to activate the right muscles. So reach out to these guys. It's so invaluable, because what's the point of it's like Brian was saying, you're compensating for one problem causing another. If you fix the root cause and you fix what's happening, why it's happening, then you're going to get away from that, and then you don't have to take painkillers and any of the other stuff. So absolutely, Katie comes on and says it's amazing. Egoscue for the win. Yeah, that's right. That's right. I mean, it's just amazing.
Wait. Katie who?
Yeah, you know Katie T-Bone. By the way, I will say, hold on, Katie. It is Katie Carlson. Katie, by the way, Katie, I don't want to out you, but basically she's eating meat now, apparently, is what it is. So
God bless her. And listen, she knows that she and I had to talk about stuff about total health, working out, and anybody who knows Katie, beautiful spirit, beautiful everything.
Yeah.
But she and I had to talk about some stuff a while ago, and I had to kind of, because I grew up with sisters, and I can sniff bullshit from a mile away. And when I hear stuff that we were talking about where, hey, what's going on? Doing this, I work out, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, the great thing about hugging people is I get to feel their back and I get to feel tissue. And she and I talked about this. And she goes, I can't believe you just called me skinny fat. And I said, well, understand what I'm talking about.
By the way, she just before you said it, she put it on.
You can call me skinny fat, but you better be getting ready to be punched in the face. And I said, well, look, I only say this because I'm fat. I get it. You're skinny fat. So not the one's better than the other. But I wanted her to realize that she is a completely different person now than when she started through this process. I mean, what she's doing online and the message that she's sending across, and you talk to anyone who knows her, just the energy of being around her. I'll never live this down because she'll never let me forget all these good things I'm saying, but they're the truth. But I would tell you, she's the epitome of standing at my desk at an event, and we're talking, and then somebody comes up who's 250 or 280 pounds, female, and so happy, and we're talking, and they're like, I really love what you do, and that whole thing about lymph, it makes sense. And I said, okay, yeah, and the magazines tell you to quit eating food and work out more. It just doesn't make sense. And then you have someone Katie's size who says, yeah, I just want to lose weight. I can't do this and blah, blah, blah. And I look right at the girl who's the other, and I'm like, you hear what the skinny bitch said? And look, it's just a discussion between the three of us girls, so it's fine. I don't even feel out of place because my intention is to get those two right there to realize they're both complaining of the same dysfunction as it relates to what society tells them is healthy about their body. And it's complete horseshit. It is. It's completely crap. Because if you don't move your body, then you are no longer able to move your plumbing system in your body. And when she says she's working on it now, I know she is. From an emotional end, a physical end, nutritional end, belief system, now she's become such a leader, and she looks the part that everybody says, I want to look like her. I want to look like her, which is why I wore that wig last week.
Yeah, Katie, I don't know if you saw, but Brian wore a blonde wig last week. He wanted to be, he was channeling his inner Katie.
In fact, it looked just like her. Let me get a picture. I think that she'll agree that we almost look like twins.
Oh, you should, you like that announcement I was going to put on here? This is, yeah.
I know I got a lot of people who said, is that Katie?
Oh, that's too funny. Actually, I had actually sent sent this to Brian because I told him this was going to be the announcement that I was going to do for today's show was going to be that. I almost did it. I almost did it. Anyway, just fun.
We're into a lot of conversations on here, and I know each week it goes on and we talk some stuff, but did she just put on missing the KC scarf? Oh my God. Yeah. Tell her to look at this and weep a little bit because these are the true champions.
That was last week too.
That's a knitted, sleeveless San Francisco sweater.
Yeah, an ugly Christmas 49ers sweater. You saw it here first, everybody. You saw it here first. So Liba asks, are there any exercises that she can do standing? She is also an RN and often doesn't get to sit much during the 12 to 13-hour shift and feel like it's taking a toll on her. By the way, Liba, I think 3 weeks ago we did an episode that was geared almost specifically to nurses and doctors. So you should go back and check that one out. But yeah, is there an exercise that you can recommend?
Number one exercise is this, the elbow curls. Remember, touch them and then try to touch them behind you and then touch them in front. Do about 30 of those, but make sure your feet are straight. And if you can get against the wall, it's even better. Because a lot of people will do this. Oh, I'll get my elbows to touch, but not by doing this. They'll go, oh. You put that wall there, no more can they cheat. That is number one. Number one is that. Number two are the arm circles, stuff like that. But again, those can be done kneeling, sitting. But it's more important about what you do when you get home. Give yourself 15 minutes on your back with your legs up like that, 90 degrees. Just laying there, palms up. Let your body decompress mentally, emotionally, everything, and it'll come together.
You know what? I'm going to put you full screen. Why don't you show us those curls with your arms, the arm circles? I know we're at 56 minutes. So yeah, you put your arms out with your thumbs out, right?
Shoulders down, shoulders back, and not lean back. It's just pull my shoulder blades. Like Force for Good should be this long, and then it should open up as my shoulder blades come together, and you circle forward just like that.
Then you put your hands upside down and you go the other way.
Yeah, then we go palms up and circle up and back.
See, I'm listening. I'm learning.
You're going to do this show without me. 40 arm circles each way and maybe 30 or 20 or 30 elbow curls. That could be enough for her to get through the day at the hospital.
Yeah. Awesome. So let me I'm going to put down here again, it's Egoscue.com. And I think it's so important. And I'm asking you guys to just check him out because he's been coming on here so selfless. By the way, you guys know we've never tried to sell anything on this show, but I am encouraging you to really do this for yourself. Get in touch with these guys. Log on.
Put a / in there and write digital. That'll bring you right to the request for tell us you came from GetUpNGrow or Tony Rodriguez, whatever. So I know where you came from and we can BS a little bit about that. But yeah, make sure it's / digital. And that'll bring you right to our place with it in yep.
Yeah, but check these guys out. I mean, it's so important to because if you're not feeling good, if you're not physically feeling well, then the rest of your day goes to hell, right? Whether you're your afternoon, your evening, you wake up in the morning instead of appreciating and being grateful for another day. You just get up and you're in pain and you're going to bed and you're in pain. And by the way, I understand what that is because I deal with that on a regular basis. But then I get up and I lay down on the ground. I put my legs up, or I do some of the exercises that helps alleviate the pain. But it's so epically important to take care of yourself.
Those of you that are home with your kids, there's a young woman with before and after 2 weeks with scoliosis that she actually did the work herself. So
wow.
Powerful for her to see that. But here's an elite level soccer player, young. She's going to be really good or not. And look at her knees, dude.
Wow.
That's an ACL tear that's coming, and they're going to blame it on the Q angle on the ACL. Come on. Maybe her hip flexor and glutes are in incongruency, which is allowing that Sorry, I had to kill a black widow. Not kill it. I just pushed it out of my garage. Her femur head can't move correctly, which then does that to the knee.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Gady says it's a game changer. Better now than paying way more for surgery later on. Absolutely. Listen, it's like I said this yesterday on the show that I had with Justin White. You know Justin, one of the other trainers. You know, everybody says that they don't have time, or some say, listen, I can't afford it. Here's the reality, and it really it's not even about affording as much as it is about taking the time and making the commitment to making things happen and doing the exercises. Because if you either take time to take care of your health, or you're going to be forced to take time to be sick, right? So it's almost like, the pain of discipline or the pain of disappointment, right? It's almost the same thing. You're going to get one or the other. So do what you've got to do now to take care of yourself, or you'll be forced to do what you've got to do later that you don't really want to do. And it's better to, and now what is it? The ounce of prevention is worth 1,000 pounds of the cure. So,
well, you heard what Pete Egoscue said about the good people in the healthcare field that tried to help me. He didn't say they failed, I didn't. He went to put a little bit of work in, like only brush the teeth you want to keep.
Right.
It's the same idea. And his outlook is so optimistic. One of the best statements I ever heard from him. Lady calls in and she said, I have a degenerative hip. Have you worked with degenerative hips before? Have you seen many of them? He said, I've seen tens of thousands of them. Oh, okay. He said, but I haven't seen yours. Let me take a look. Now it became personal. He went expert, I saw thousands, to, but I'm curious. What's yours like? Now it became, I'm caring. You go from curious to caring. It's a win. Out of the gate.
Well, as the saying goes, people don't care how much you know unless they know how much you care, right? So it's about giving, it's about contribution, it's about helping others. And listen, I just want to say again, Brian, thank you again for coming on and dedicating the time again this weekend, and for the commitment that you're making to help everybody out in the world. But again, that's what this is about. It's about helping other people, especially in times of need. So thank you for your time. And I appreciate that. And I don't know if I've said this to you before, but I really believe this. Time is the one thing that you can never get back. So it is the most valuable gift you can give anyone, is your time. So I appreciate you, brother. I really do. Thank you so much for continuing to come on and for making the impact that you make. And I guarantee you're going to change somebody's life here.
Let me just say this to your listeners. I am not doing this for Tony. And he knows that, right? We joke around. We're East Coast. We can give each other shit, locker room BS all the time. This is about you guys spreading the word about, if I never see somebody and all they do is pick up the pain-free book and it changes their life. Can you imagine? Like, it's awesome. And that's what I loved about having, getting Pete. I'm like, hey, let me see if Pete's available. And we got him right in the middle of a beer. It was perfect, because that's, he didn't go 75 years young right now to go, I'm going to sit on my loins and collect a paycheck. He moves to Park City because he says, give me just 7,000 feet so I can hike up to that level. And he goes, I was out at his house. He goes, you want to go for a hike? I go, no, there's 8 feet of snow outside. He goes, it's a hike. I go, dude, no thanks. I said, I'm on vacation right now. I'm going to have some bulletproof coffee and get in the jacuzzi and throw some snowballs.
Awesome. Listen, I can't wait to get out there. He's drinking. Next time you guys got to let me know. He's drinking the beer. You're having a Moscow Mule, and I'm over here with a bottle of water. This just isn't right. Next time, we're gonna have to fix that. So
yeah, not a Moscow Mule. Mine was Patron Silver with a little bit of raw organic lemonade and some squeezed lime. So it's just a little summer drink. Just a little summer drink.
I'll match you with a spring drink next week. Anyway, brother, I appreciate you. Thank you. Everybody, check him out. The Real Brian Bradley on Instagram and Facebook. The Real Brian Bradley as well. And certainly egoscue.com/digital. I put the link in here. Join these guys. Ask about it. Support them. They continue to support us. Brother, I appreciate you and your continued support. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you, everyone, for sharing. And do subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you just go into YouTube, type in my name and hashtag GetUpNGrow. Find me, subscribe. I appreciate it. We do stream there daily as well. And again, if someone isn't on Facebook or you want to email the link, that is probably the best way to send it. So please subscribe. I appreciate your support. And remember, my friends, that life is not about how many times you fall. It's about getting up after every fall. Fall down 7 times, get up 8, and every single time you fall, you have the opportunity to get up and grow. Appreciate all of you. Brian, hang on for a sec. Thank you all. Ciao for now. Appreciate you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow.